honest, I do know how to go viral and how to make videos that are gonna get more views. Because people like to hate. They love to hate. I'm just not mentally prepared for that yet. Not yet.
Okay, thanks for clearing that up. Appreciate that. We already knew this was all rage bait, but you just confirmed it. Wonderful. I need to speak to you as a mom, okay? You've single-handedly destroyed your children's lives and their futures at school, socially. When I was in the classroom, I had multiple students who lived in really hard situations, and there was two that come to mind especially that I think about in relation to what your kids have gone through. And their only saving grace in that situation was the fact that they could speculate all day long. Every other kid could speculate what those kids were going through, but there was never any actual evidence of it. You handed that to the internet on a silver platter. You've shown the entire internet what your kids are living through. They didn't have bed frames. Their pets just got kicked out of the house and dropped like trash. They didn't have clean clothes that weren't covered in mold or cat piss or gardening smoke. You told their secrets to the world. And I know that every single kid in that school is looking at them some kind of way because they were already being bullied beforehand. You said that. Do you think this didn't make it worse? You're their mom. You're supposed to protect them from stuff like this. And I am praying for you guys to get it together. You made a lot of money this month. Put it towards something useful. Probably therapy.
So I never thought there'd be another group of people that make Tofiachu look better. And it's really sad to say because the resilient retards don't really fucking care about their kids or anything like that. People on the internet had to bully them to get their kids beds, get their kids essential stuff and not sleeping on the floor. So today we're going to cover some updates on them about moving to a third motel. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video and let's get into this.
Give us a little bit more space. Quick Google search of this place will show you what the inside of these bedrooms look like. Motel room's my bed. Now this one that we're moving into, it has a full-size couch that pops into a queen-size bed, a bunk bed, and then the bed is a queen-size bed, not a full. And of course, we're going to move the bassinet over as well. So if you can do the math, that's more than enough bedding for everybody. So this one comes with a full-size fridge. The bathroom is separate from what we're going to be using as our kitchen area. No more toothbrushes right by the cooking area. Definitely going to be a little more comfortable while we're here. I'm going to be brave and show some of the clips of the process. Because while having a village is ideal, it's just Drew and I who do everything. As you can imagine, I was chasing a toddler around and helping a fussy baby while Drew moved everything over. Isn't Drew supposed to be sore right now? Of course he's sore right now, but like I said, it's just him and I, and we have to manage and find ways to get things done. My baby, for whatever reason, does not like being put in a wrap. I've tried wearing her multiple different ways, and she's just not about it. So when she's up and she wants attention, she wants to be held, and she wants to be held a certain way, which generally means I can't do as much with my hands as I want to. I'm not gonna lie, there's times that does get quickly overstimulated. And I turn around and look at my toddler who's nearly half my size, and I realize time just goes way too fast with these babies. Even though the process isn't getting done quite like I would like it to, it's gonna get done. It's all gonna be okay. At the end of the day, I'm just grateful I got my babies. All right, come back later for an update.
There's a few things wrong with this video. If you have to say no more toothbrushes next to where you're cooking food is just crazy. And to say that this one finally has enough beds for everyone, it's not really true because those poor kids are gonna have to like sleep together on half of this stuff. So there's probably gonna be 2 kids on the bunk beds and 2 kids on the sofa while they still get the big bed. Because why would Stephanie or Drew sleep on the pull-out bed? Her saying that, oh, I'm gonna be brave and show, clips of us moving in and everything. Literally, you're posting this to the internet. You could stop any day posting this shit. But they don't because this is their only source of income because Stephanie and Drew are too lazy to go get real jobs and actually support their kids. Actually try to help their kids and not make their situation worse. Like as we heard in the intro clip. These kids, Stephanie told us, were being bullied in school, and her posting all of this information isn't going to make it better. And Stephanie in another video is going to say that like the kids had moldy clothes. Yeah, so kids are definitely going to bully your kids and call them like the moldy kids because you're allowing your kids to do this instead of just growing up and going and putting the fries in the bag. Because Drew is fine. All of his medical conditions that he quote-unquote has can just be fixed with diet and exercise. But they don't want to do that.
He was definitely a lot more comfortable in this room last night. And I got about 85% of everything picked up and put away the best we could. Now I know it's easy to look around and quickly judge. I mean, refer back to our first viral video when I said, if you don't live in this situation, you don't quite understand. And if you think there's not times that I look at my own videos and think to myself, damn, there's people that I look up to watching me looking rough as fuck. That's literally the only time I spend on it because I got way too much going on in my own damn life. I mean, you think I actually want my dishes up on the floor? Absolutely not, but it is what it is and we're making it work. Honestly, I find it fucking humorous because I walk around and find things about this place that are way more livable than in the apartment we just spent 3 years in. Y'all look around and think this is rough? Try emptying out a tub filled with nasty water for over a year and a half every time you want to shower yourself or your kids. Or dealing with nothing but a trickle of water to wash dishes. Constantly having to throw away vegetables and fruit because they spoil within a day because the insulation on the place sucked and things just went rotten really quickly. Same reason why we couldn't leave any rag or any kind of clothes wet anywhere within the place or it would start smelling like within a day. I'm not even kidding you. That's just not possible. There she goes lying again. And like I said, I don't really give a frick if you choose to listen to me or not. It's going to be the people who have been through what we've been through who understand, and these are the people that I post for. But honestly, the people that I have met going through the same situation that we're going through have been some of the most genuine and kind people I've ever come across. It got me thinking that everybody got to hit rock bottom before they actually know how to be genuine, kind people. But anyways, like I said, everybody is a lot more comfortable in this room. We're making it work until we find that permanent housing plan that works just right for our family. Okay, but
remember how Stephanie, when this all started and they were still in that 1-bedroom apartment, she was like, this place is perfect, family of 7, this is perfect for us. And now she just complains. She complains in every freaking video that she posts. I don't even know how she's complaining, but she does. There's a lot of lap here between her and Tofiachu. She said that apartment was perfect for that family of 7. And now she's bashing it, saying like, this motel room is more functionable than that apartment was. It was like, bitch, you spent a whole entire fucking year telling and convincing the internet that it's perfect, it's fine, we can manage. Her putting dishes, anything that they are going to put their mouths on the floor is absolutely disgusting. You can say, well, oh, Anya, she cleans the floor and everything. It doesn't matter. It's still disgusting. It's on the floor. Like, I wouldn't eat off of that. You don't know what kind of creatures scurry around. It's a freaking motel, and they're not in the best motels anyway. So there were cockroaches in her last video when she was in the second motel, so who knows what's on these plates and everything. And she's just like dropping them on the floor, and then she gives that to the kids to eat off of. It's just so disgusting.
In our hotel room in a slow cooker. First off, I'm gonna wash this thing out because it got nasty being on the floor down there. This recipe, I used cumin, oregano, garlic, onion, chili powder, jalapeno, 1 onion, paprika, black pepper. To your slow cooker, you're gonna add all of your ingredients. I don't really have exact measurements on the seasonings here because you can go as heavy as light as you want to have it pretty seasoned. I went a little bit lighter this night because previously when I made this, my daughters complained about it being too spicy. I do think when I made it previously, I did add a little bit of cayenne pepper, so this time I just left that out. I do add about half the bottle of jalapenos as well as like half the juice that's in the bottle. That really doesn't make it too spicy. It just adds to the flavor. Personally, I would probably add the whole bottle, but I think that'd be a little bit too much for my kids. For me, I'm always going to stir whatever I put in the slow cooker. I know a lot of people just put the ingredients in there and let the slow cooker do its thing, but I'm always going to give it a good stir. And at this point, you're going to add water. You could add broth. That would probably be good too, but I just did water. Cook it on low for 6 to 8 hours or high to 4 to 6 hours. I think I had it in there on high for about 5 hours. This is how it turned out. It was delicious as always. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
She just didn't use a pair of scissors to cut the meat. That, when I saw that, I was like, oh my god. Stephanie, in one of her past videos, bragged about having like food stamps, something like that, like EBT or something, that she was getting $1,500, okay? And she was like, thanks everybody for your taxes are going to us, like being very smug and shit. She's using a pair of fucking scissors to cut fucking meat. That is so fucking crazy. Instead of like, you know, getting Drew more PS5 games or buying him a PS5 with that money, maybe you could have got like a bear claws or something that actually shreds meat, that's, you know, a kitchen utensil. Remember my last point when I said that she put it on the floor and that shit is nasty? She just confirmed that the crock pot she had to clean out because it got nasty from being on the floor. Like, my god, you can't make this shit up.
It's back. We'll probably eat something quick, and we gotta get some fold up tables or something to get that stuff off the ground. I wasn't trying to spend too much money making this motel room comfortable because the goal is to save money for our spot. I'm just gonna put this out there in case you don't know this about me yet. I don't shave my pits, so if that's something you want to unfollow people for, go ahead. And before you're like, that's crazy, I literally seen some people on someone's post say that shit. They were like, oh, I was following you and I loved you until I noticed you don't shave. What? If you made it this far into the video, I really appreciate you watching. I wanted to take a minute and say something about the comments that everybody's saying we're not making any efforts to find housing. First of all, I don't think that's anybody's business. We're not the first people to stay in a motel while they find permanent housing. And I'm sure we're not going to be the last. I don't think we owe any explanations for any kind of spending we do while we're staying in this motel and while we're figuring out our permanent housing. So when people come at us with that they don't seem to care, they want to keep their kids homeless. Honestly, how do you know what kind of conversations Drew and I have? How many hours we spend discussing what the next right move for our family is? We both decided we're not going to move into any kind of 2-bedroom. It needs to be a 3-bedroom at minimum. We'd all fit more comfortably in something something that's a 4-bedroom or more, preferably something with 2 bathrooms. Gosh, I'd really like to be able to do my laundry in my freaking house. And I'd love it if my kids have a backyard. Don't want to just hop into the next thing just because it's what the internet thinks is right for our family. We want to do what we know is right for our family because, quite frankly, only we know that. Doing the right thing means we're staying here for a minute. That doesn't mean we're not going to spend the money to take care of our family's clothing and hygiene needs that come up. Of course, we're planning and saving for our
Some really nice pipe you got there in your pants pocket. Some kind of drug paraphernalia, it looks like, if you guys catch my drift. Like, just great. So we just know for sure that there's some kind of drug use going on, because we know in the past that Stephanie did smoke marijuana when she was pregnant, and we do know that Drew also was addicted to substances because he liked a post or republished a post about drug abuse and stuff like that. But it's just like, you're not helping your case here. And in another video, I don't know if I'm going to show it in this one, there's been a lot of people covering these people. I just wanted to pick videos that are just outrageous. But in another video that Stephanie was talking about, she was saying, we constantly get welfare checks. We constantly get the police coming and checking on our kids. It's like, yeah, because when we see something that looks like a crack pipe, yeah, guess what? You're going to get investigated, because the only reason that people are doing the sub only is because they want to get money for those kids. I watched the Resilient Jenkins, the more I think of it as Tofiachu. They're so similar, and yet like in different situations, but it's just crazy how similar they are, because they're complaining about everything and how, you know, the haters are doing all this bad stuff towards them, and it's all the haters' fault, it's everyone on the internet's fault. But they're not looking at themselves or wanting to better themselves in any way to actually have people want to support you and want to see you succeed. Stephanie and Tofiachu are using the same kind of lol cow go-to lines, like it's the internet's fault that we have to do this, and this, or it's the internet's fault that we don't have a good location to be at. It's like, no, it's you. You put yourself in this situation. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.